We are working on another diamond art painting. Okay, so yesterday I did have the measurements wrong. They are 100. It's 100 by 150. No, 150. No, sorry, 50 by 150. So we're working on a gigantic dream bottle here. I don't know if I can show that. That's what it looks like right there. So that's how big it is. That's what we're working on. And I'm really excited because I actually finished the peacock, and now we can get back on this. Hold on one second because my co-host seems to be a little loud here. Let me pause real quick, and then we can get started telling you about the book that I have been working on. All right, okay. All right, welcome back, everybody. Sorry, I had to take a little minor pause there. All right, help the little ones out. The co-host over here, you guys already know if you're new to the stream, I have two American Bully puppies that are brothers, and they're in their little doggy area. So sometimes they might get a little hype. You feel me? So if I gotta take a break and put them outside or switch out, then we will do that. Okay, so the story that I'm gonna play while we're I actually am the author of this book. I got back into writing like last year, so I'm super excited. So we're gonna play it. Let me know what you guys think. Download the app. Okay, I'd love for you guys to be part of my book club. I think that'd be fire. So once again, the book is called Three Sisters, and it's on the Pocket FN app. Sun comes up. All right, let's get into it. Crashed into the window, waking up the oldest sister. With her hair bonnet halfway off her head and her sleeping mask twisted over her ear, she jumps up with a jolt of fear, grabbing her blanket. She's looking around the dark room, seeing what's out of place. She looks around and sees the familiar sisters, sleeping bodies in their beds. One sister is halfway off the bed, twisted in her blankets. With 88 stuffed animals, unicorns on her bed, this wasn't unusual to see her sleeping. All types of ways. The other sister was knocked out, sleeping sideways, curled in a ball in a full-size bed. The oldest sister quietly laughs at the sight and says, "These two are a mess." Hearing the sounds of the tree tapping at the windows, she breathed a sigh of relief. Yes, she had been... What happened? Oh, hold on. Oh my God, somebody, hold on. It's a customer, you guys. Hold on one second. but she would defend the safety of herself and her sisters in a heartbeat. Leaning over and looking at her lava lamp clock, it read 4:30 a.m. She sat there for a minute, debating whether to go back to bed or get up and make some tea and meditate for a while. Tea was the winner, and nothing wrong with stretching the body before work. She fixes her bonnet and grabs her purple robe and slippers and heads downstairs. The rain starts to beat down harder, and she almost jumps out her slippers at the hallway lights flickering. She tightened her robe around her body a bit tighter and gets to the bottom of the stairs. Headed to the kitchen to grab her favorite teapot at her tea station in her kitchen. Since it's still late, but rather early, she figured that she would pick a calming tea. Lavender tea is, she prefers raw tea leaves versus the tea bag from the store. Turns on her tea maker and grabs her favorite tea of the evening. Seeing that it was rather late and early, at the same time lavender tea was the best choice. She pulls out her tea mug, and her particular favorite one is shaped like a stack of books that she ordered off of the online store with custom unique tea mugs. As she sits there waiting for the tea to get done, she listens to the stillness of the house, the weather outside, and just enjoying the stillness of the moment. Her teapot starts to whistle, calling back her attention to reality. She grabs a few sugar cubes out of the sugar cube tray and puts them in her favorite mug, pours her tea, and sits in her favorite reading area, leaning back in the great recliner chair that is purple. She just sits there and enjoys the tranquility of the lavender tea and how her and her sisters have accomplished the beautiful interior design and aesthetics of their house mix between crystals, plants, and books that even feng shui was a vibe. After her tea cools down for a little bit, she decides to drink it and does a little bit of yoga for about an hour, gets up and returns back upstairs to take a quick shower and lay back down to rest for about 2 hours. The sooner it will be time to get up and head to work, loving that she has the hourly freedom to set her own work hours. She don't have to rush life as the other people that have a 9-5 work schedule. And that suits her perfectly for her lifestyle, because she is a type of person who likes to roll to the beat of her own drum. She does not like authority of people telling her what to do and what to do it, and how to do it. By the same time, she still knows that she has to earn money for her lifestyle. The biggest motto that she had growing up is, if you don't work, you don't eat. And nobody is trying to struggle for no reason. Being lazy is not an option. As the sun starts to come up peeking between the trees, making beautiful view of purples and oranges, the youngest sister wakes up soon as she hears the birds start to chirp. She rolls from under her big blanket and her 88 stuffed animals that are on her bed, knowing that she needs to find some type of cute space hanging from the ceiling to put those stuffed animals. Because at this point, how do you even sleep in the bed with all those little feet and horns and cute little ribbons on the stuffed animals and be able to stretch up comfortably in the bed? At this point, it's a comfort thing.
Oh, sugar.
She stands up to get her proper footing, looks around, and stretches her body and shakes her dreads. Does a few stretches to get the blood flowing in the body. She's not as big into yoga as her oldest sister, but she makes sure that she stretches those bones out daily. She smiles at her sleeping sisters and wakes up the oldest by pulling on her afro puff. Girl, wake up. Don't you have that client they called you yesterday looking for that art piece on your website?
That really irritates my soul.
The oldest sister looked up from under her blanket and thought about it. Have that saying, oh my God, I almost forgot about that. Let me get dressed and hopefully make this $800 sale for this art piece. Both sisters look at each other, giggle, and say, get that bag, boo. They hug each other, and little sister heads off the bathroom to handle her personal hygiene routine, while the oldest sister grabs her favorite robe and heads to the art studio. Diamond art painting. The art studio was created in the garage. She figured that would be the best place to be able to work in peace.
I'm working on a gigantic dream bottle diamond art painting.
And she definitely was not trying to hear it here, both of her sisters' mouth, when it comes to the decoration and aesthetics of the house. Now the little sister has her own bracelet business, where she has a room in the house that is dedicated strictly for her bracelet, that's called Bracelet City. She's had this business since she was 5 years old, creating all types of bracelets and selling them at the local flea markets with her mom. Now that she's old enough and grown, she took over her own business and is the sole owner of Bracelet City, and she works online through social media websites and her local flea market in the state that she lives in. Her two also has the benefit of hourly freedom because they have their own business. Since she has this business since she was a child, she was able to turn her passion and a hobby into a business where she can thrive for herself and not have to ask anyone for help. One thing that the girls learned while growing up and watching society move how it does.
Thank you. It's really, really, really big. It's gigantic.
You can be thrown away
it's
like
the size
a
of
piece
a doorway.
Of trash and replaced in the next minute.
This is actually literally my first diamond art painting, you guys.
And nobody is trying to struggle when the economy is already crazy. Now the youngest sister's bead room is so adorable. When you first walk in,
this is literally the first one I started, but I already completed a totally different one that was way smaller.
Very professional, very demure. There is a lot of natural light and a lot of plants, mainly water plants. She has a custom plant wall made with extended ledges, so therefore it's giving plant gallery on the side where the sun shines the most. She loves the water plants because those are the best plants as far as being able to see the roots grow through clear vases. She loves to see the growth of all the plants over time as the seasons move around and go along and the winters pass by. Just how beautiful it is when summer and spring is here, when everything comes alive to thrive. Along the main wall on the left-hand side are custom pegboards attached to the wall. Also painted pink are very long hooks for bracelets. Each peg has their own bracelet collection with the cutest junk.
Hey, chill out. I know you not.
Different colors.
You better go right back outside, buddy.
Growth from her being 5 until her being in her early 20s has been astounding. On the floor is black carpet, but she has area rugs of majestic unicorns and a few unicorn puzzles that she has done over the years that are in frames, now hanging as custom artwork within her creative area in one corner. She has a little mini bar for all her different hot chocolate and tea to drink. Cute little aesthetics next to her drink bar holds her sugar cubes and her different little custom water bottles that she has bedazzled over time, even though her shop has a minimalist look. It's very clean, very neat. Everything is color-coded in clear containers with the labels from a label that she also bedazzled. Her desk area is rather creative, as she went to the hardware store and got a few custom toolboxes that you would see the man's garage, but they have been spray painted. Pink was very lovely art designed along sides of all of them, so she built her own custom desk area with deep enough shelves and desks areas that hold her beads and material needs. Another area is a printing center where she has her labeler, printer, and postal situation, along with her streaming area ring lights and gaming chair that vibrates different colors to the beat of the music if you're playing it. She has 2 little cats that she keeps in the cage. I guess we can say that's emotional support, and keeps her busy while she works for long hours getting new merchandise to the other side of the coffee area. She has a little mini hair station where she keeps all her custom hair, jewelry needs for her long dreads. She's been growing her dreads out since she was 4 years old, so now that hair is past her butt, it's kind of hard to twist it up in certain hairstyles, depending on the type of outfit or aesthetic. Look that she's going for, but she has figured it out and designed her own hair jewelry and functional hair clips. Under her desk, she has a wide variety of different comfortable unicorn slippers and unicorn slides with a few unicorn sandals to match the collection of candles and perfumes that he grows by the month, as that is her secret little splurge that she likes to do, especially when it's time for therapy shopping. There are also 2 small bookshelves with different books next to a cozy little chair, nook area that she can relax and read as she pleases without any type of hesitation. It's a leisure life in your early 20s when you have no kids and you can do as you please. Grow or not, she saw how a lot of different kids chose different life routes, and that's not what she wanted. She has a foresight over the years to see cousins and other family members have kids rather early, and now they are too busy running after and raising life instead of having the leisure to still explore and have fun yourself. Marriage for her? Not at all. By far, she definitely was not thinking about it no time soon. As she sees it, what is the point of having a boyfriend and our partner? And they gotta tell you what you can and can't do. And now you are low-key acting like a servant to cater to someone else's needs when their arms and legs work just fine. Until she can meet a person that is more of a best friend and has the interest of both of them at hand, she will stay single and does as she please. If she chooses to rub her feet together in the middle of the night, watching a movie she can without having to get up at 2 a.m. making a man a sandwich. Her freedom and independence is what she loves because she can do as she pleases and go when she wants to and come back without having an answer to no one. Yes,
is it space?
Her
it's a
sister
dream
is also
bottle.
live in the same house with her, but as a different situation.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like a message in a bottle in outer space, kind of, you know.
So the family thing is far-fetched. As a little sister gets out of the shower, drying off her waist-length locks, she's debating on what she should wear today because the weather is beautiful and sunny out, with that dry, humid heat where you want to twist your hair up in a bun so your neck can breathe. By the time she walked down the hallway with her hair and body wrapped in a towel, she decided on a cute sundress with some slides. She threw on some cute bracelets that were purple and yellow, then messed the dress that she was wearing, and figured why not they want some slides to match too. Granted, she wasn't going to wear today, but she did have a full live stream that she wanted to look very adorable for because you already know when you stream wearing I put together outfit, you tend to get more positive attention and sales. So with that being said, the outfit was adorable, and she was ready to go downstairs and make breakfast, peeking back into her room. She's still seeing her middle sister sleep. She laughed, shook her head, and went back downstairs to continue to make breakfast. One thing she knows, the middle sister never wakes up till about 1 p.m., but we'll get to her in a minute. So the youngest sister goes downstairs and makes waffles in the waffle maker. Of course, it's heart-shaped, and then she makes some scrambled eggs, toast, sausage, and bacon. Knowing by time she was about done, the middle sister would be up soon. Instead of making breakfast for herself, she went ahead and made breakfast for her and her two sisters, because she already know they've been picking at her plate, and she was not trying to share. Granted, her sisters know how to cook. The youngest sister was the best cook, because she pays attention to small details, even when she was a small girl, watching her mother and stepfather cook in the kitchen together. Once she got breakfast situated on everyone's plate, she called her older sister to come, and from her work wash up and come eat breakfast. By time the middle sister rolled over, she smelled breakfast and was ready to wake up and see what the delicious smell was. Once the youngest sister set the breakfast table and yelled for her sister to come down, she got straight to business, eating and relaxing in the comfort of their lovely, warm kitchen. She poured everybody orange juice and pulled out her Kindle to enjoy the newest novel that she downloaded last night. Some interesting romance novel where some handsome man on a horse ride her off into the sunset. As the sun beam and shining on her hair, she decides to get a hair clip to twist her up off of her neck. She is sitting there at the kitchen table, comfy wearing her unicorn robe with the unicorn slippers. The ones where they cover the whole entire foot, and the unicorn hat has the horn. To add a little spice to her slippers, she actually bedazzled and added jewelry to the faces of both slipper pads. Cute added plated nose, ring, like a bull nose, and cute rhinestones.
So we're using a larger spacer for the color blocking.
She added fake eyelashes to the unicorn's eyeballs, and each one has a little bell around its neck so you can always hear her coming. She enjoys it, but both her sisters find it slightly annoying, sometimes hearing the bell ring constantly. The unicorn rope that she also was wearing, she added a little spiced tea, which did have bedazzled rhinestones and some really cute hanging charms throughout the robe area. The pajamas were definitely the adult-size onesies with the feet in them also because she does not like being cold, living in a state where it's cold more than half of the year, but at the same time the views of the scenery definitely make up for it. Beautiful sunsets and beautiful sunrises that overlook the ocean in the distance in their kitchen. They have a huge bay window that looks onto the ocean in the distance. The kitchen that they have is custom designed state-of-the-art appliances. There's a flat range stove, large enough to cook a Thanksgiving dinner all at the same time, with 2 side-by-side ovens. A modern industrial vibe from the ceiling hangs a pan rack that you actually move up and down with a pulley. Something they thought was cool as a space-saving situation. Instead of having pots and pans stuck up under the kitchen cabinets like most households. In the kitchen was a massive industrial refrigerator where the freezer was at the bottom, pull-out drawers, and the Bluetooth that you can link to your phone when you are running low on items and your refrigerator tells you all about it. The microwave also was top of the line, but they had it in one of those pull-out drawers. Also space situation, because they are personally like no appliances on the countertops. Another upgrade was all the plugins in the house had the USB port right next to it, just in case you need to charge your phone and don't have the charger block. A lot of upgrades were made when they initially bought this house together. When they first got the house, they bought it, how the house was gutted, where you can add the walls and add the appliances and create a floor plan. However, you wanted to go, they thought it was a neat idea since you had 3 sisters living in the same house. They all have their own awesome ideas on how they want their home to look. With each sister having totally different styles and design situations, they thought it was awesome that they each was able to design their own area. How technology has progressed so much over the years, a majority of their house was smart home efficient. There definitely was the Alexa smart home system that they did have hooked up throughout the house, as far as music and the alarm system cameras throughout the house to make sure that they were safe. We already know how it is having women living alone without the presence of a male energy. Better safe than sorry. Wi-Fi reached all corners of the home because all sisters streamed because all of them had their own business. Having the proper Wi-Fi capabilities is a mess. No one has time for lagging streams and customers not coming in properly. A majority of the plants that they had throughout the home were water plants and plants that regenerate. So the fact that they have been growing these plants over the last 2 summers, it's looking like a beautiful forest of succulent flowers and plants and greenery. Throughout the house, custom plant stands and custom plant letters were designed, so there was even a flow for the long IV plants to flourish within the natural sunlight. They weren't a fan of carpet, so there were definitely some really fire ethnic rugs throughout the house. Less carpet equals less asthma issues and easier to clean. Another feature that they loved throughout the house was skylight to let natural light and floors in the bathroom and the floor in the master bedroom. Both bathrooms in the home were quite large also, with skylights with natural plants throughout the bathroom. Both bathrooms were the size of a 1-bedroom apartment, Lowell garden tubs in both, and a full walk-in shower. You could call a wet room if you want because there was a drain in the middle, just in case for easy cleanup. Very elegant with the flowers and plants placed throughout the bathroom is giving it a jungle earthly vibe. The decor of the bathroom is green and blue, matching hand towels also with the Wi-Fi Bluetooth overhead shower. Scented potpourri sit above the toilet and cleaning products stacked neatly under the sink. One thing I will say is all sisters are very clean and very orderly when it comes to their house and the aesthetics. Regardless if there's company or not, they were never really too big on having a lot of people at their house because everybody knows your house is supposed to be your sanctuary, your peace of mind, where you can breathe and take off your shoes and kick back and relax. The girls find it interesting how they work so hard to be able to get the type of house that they have, granted the economy and what's going on in life, but they realize that you have more when you work together, and they are very happy with themselves, living the dream in their early 20s and having their own home instead of them having to live with roommates, our apartments, and living with other people. That's not a lifestyle that they wanted to pursue. The fact that they all were able to accomplish. This house is definitely a major milestone in our lives. Another major feature of the house is the garage. They have the garage elongated, so therefore they can still park their cars on one side, and the other side has enough storage for everything that they need. They're definitely big on holidays and love to decorate. The backyard sits on an acre of land. There is a small man-made pond with koi fish in it, a sitting area with shade, very beautiful umbrella that folds out, but also has vine aesthetics along it to give the jungle feel. One thing that they all love is to meditate or read outside in the backyard. It's very quiet, a beautiful peace of mind. There's a shed back there with tools and a gardening area, and also a grilling area on the side of the house next to the sunroom. Bonfire area is always a cool gathering area for their friends that are in college. It provides a fine outside area where everyone has to be in the house, walking all over possibly being nosy and touching stuff they have no business getting into. And that is not too far from the grilling area. The bonfire grill pit was made by hand custom design And even when it's cold outside, the stones are heated so they are still able to grill as they please, regardless of the temperature outside when it's cold. There is a large 70-inch indoor-outdoor TV that is mounted on the wall, as they like to have movie night outside as they are bundled up in their favorite comfortable robes and sleepwear. It's a wonderful getaway, even though you're still at home from the long days of working and adulting. Next to the garden is a really cute fountain that is functional. It's kind of giving a modern and Chinese backyard, with a grilling and lounge area included. The level of diversity on how this house is designed, in a time that the sisters adding the details to the inside and outside of the house and the backyard, has made it a really popular spot among their friends.
Alright, I didn't like how that lined up. That's why I took them back off again.
And have a little mini chill parties. They are very big on their privacy and space. As far as people not being all up in their business, they definitely had respect for each other, space, and privacy. Granted, each sister has their own personalities and their own groups of friends. Even though they all love their friends, they know that their sister bond holds over all of their friend groups. Sometimes people come and go, or sometimes they last longevity. A lesson that they learned when they were younger is sometimes people are like trees. Sometimes they are the leaves, and they come and go as the season comes and goes. Sometimes they are the branches that will be there a little bit longer. Sometimes they will be the stump and the trunk of tree, which means they will be there longevity and or forever, unless they get cut down. But that being said, some people will be here for a long time, sometime they won't be. But you always have your sisters to look out for you and have your back all, right? So as we have described, how the outside of the backyard is this time to gravitate our attention back to inside, because Big Mama has woken up, and she is definitely a very interesting character. As Big Mama rolls over, and she smells a hint of a delicious breakfast, she rolls over and smiles, rubbing her eyes, and gets up, looks over into her vanity, and sees her hair sticking up on her head. She shakes her hair as her hair shakes, and bounce. She grabbed her bathroom, hygiene, necessity, stretches her body, and head to the bathroom. She heads in, lock the door, and handle her business as she stretches, turn on the hot water, and gets ready to brush teeth and grab the shampoo to give her hair a nice wash, because it's definitely been a week and a half since the last wash and curl. Last night was a late night for her, so she forgot to braid her hair down for twist out in the morning. It's all good though, because it was about that time to moisturize and condition her hair and do a cute roller set in her hair. Once she got in the nice hot shower, meditated, and fully woke up, she prepared to get herself ready for the day and eat breakfast. She hopped out the shower moisturized with her favorite bath and Body Works lotion from head to toe. She made sure that her nail polish on her toes was not chipped and on point. The color of the week was purple. Purple is a royalty, and that is also Big Mama's favorite color. She went over to the hair care area, grabbed the hair grease and the pink hair lotion, and overly moisturized her hair, brushed it through and through, and was very happy at the bounce. It was naturally giving, but today was a ponytail day because she had a lot of work to do. Big Mama knew that it was laundry day today, and then she had 4 hair customers that she needed to call and make sure that they were still on their way to customers, were adults that need a box braids. Each hairstyle at the length that they asked for is $250, and then the other 2 customers are sisters that are 5 years old, single braids in a cute freestyle design with their natural hair, and those hairstyles were $75 a piece, which was a fair price because those particular client have rather long hair that was natural, and when they were dropped off, their hair was freshly washed so big Mama did not have to deal with some scalp issues that some people may have to deal with in the actual hair salon.
Oh, Lord.
Not every customer came with their hair washed, because there definitely been quite a few customers that come with that scalp looking dry like it never touched water in days. And she may be able to work a whole miracle to make sure that the hair brand new revived around here. No one's gonna give Big Mama a bad name of hair. Falling out and her full-time job and dream has come true to be a hair salon owner since she was a child, so therefore she has her own hours and does as she pleases. She also does work part-time at a daycare, helping early kindergarten and preschool children. Granted, she doesn't want any kids herself, ever, but working at the daycare is enough. The main and only point of working at the daycare is a yes play, with the kids educate them. But that paycheck was to help for the renovations for the house. Today was her day off from having to be at the daycare, so she definitely focused on cleaning up the hair salon that is downstairs in the basement, fully furnished, very professional, and very demure. She had a new shipment of bottles and containers come in because she makes her own hair cream and hair growth serum that works very well. Big Mama head on down into the hair salon, grabs a box cutter to go ahead and open these containers and boxes to get everything situated, organized where it needs to go before these customers come. Also, the labeling that she customized online has come through too. So she will be spending her time labeling the containers and bottles before and in her spare time before the customers get there. Big Mama made a new batch of hair growth oil the day before, and now it's ready to get in the containers. The timing was actually perfect, if anybody says so. Their self. The weather was a beautiful 85 degrees outside, but the amount of shade that was beautiful.
What are we doing? What's going on? I'm
As the
hold
sun
on.
is starting to peek over the pine trees
What do
and
you want?
drying up the rain from the previous thunderstorm that
Not
night
right
into
now.
the early morning.
Is it even working?
Big
Is it dead?
Mama is heading down the stairs to her hair salon, about to tidy
No,
up.
it's right
She
here,
has
but I'm
her
saying,
cleaning
like, is it, you good? Are you done playing outside? Here you go. Make sure my door is closed upstairs. Thank you. Wonderful. All right, go ahead. Go.
And
That was a
decided to
commercial.
throw on some house cleaning attire that consists of a gray sweatpants that were a bit
Brody,
baggy,
I'm working right now. I'm not sitting here watching Airbender.
and tied up white t-shirt around her waist. She didn't like her clothes getting in the way once she started cleaning and organizing. She had a bit of OCD, so her cleaning and her cleaning phases was a very let her do her thing, step back, and don't touch nothing type of situation. A type of detail and decoration that she kept with her hair salon was very aesthetically pleasing on the hair salon side of her business. It was very earthly and rainforest-like, with the leaves hanging from the ceilings and the walls, with pictures of her and her sisters throughout the years. Along one side where the hair care products are, she has her diamond paintings framed around the area in a very beautiful decor. Diamond painting she started doing since she was 10 years old until now. So it's a beautiful art museum of her work over the years. Her diamond painting consists of all sizes. Some are the size of your hand, and she has quite a few ranging the size of an average door frame in a house. All of them are sealed with Mod Podge, so not one diamond falls out of place. A lot of the frames that the diamond paintings hung on are custom designed from a very famous online framing store. How the times have passed. Everything is online with a virtual video, as opposed to how they used to be able to go out to the mall and walk around and browse stores as a collector. With that being said, dusting the frames and wiping down the leaves, cleaning off the salon chair along with the sink where she washes everyone's hair. The smell of pine sol and bleach is a very welcoming aroma. The hair care line that she started to grow your edges back and help people with alopecia and other health and care issues are beautifully labeled and set aside on their proper shelves and labeled accordingly for easy organization. Last summer, she invested in a vending machine that she found on Facebook Marketplace and bought it, as now it is filled with candies and sodas, and the top row being healthy options, as our customers are often there for hours and will get hungry if they did not bring their own snacks. Plus, it was a great
You're not talking so loud. I'm working. Is that okay? Okay, thank you. All right, bet. I'm using the cord right now, so go play.
At the end of the day, nobody wants to sit anywhere hungry as opposed to being able to conveniently grab a accommodatable that Big Mama was. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. One thing about Big Mama is she does not play when it comes to business. She has a hair salon and a vending machine and sells diamond art paintings online, as well as the bedazzled purses that she makes, all while living in the college dream independently. Cleaning the diamond area wasn't that bad or tedious because she made sure that whenever she starts or finishes the project or has to put it away for another time. Rening, she makes sure that she keeps the diamond art pieces and flat back resin separate in their containers. The tiny size of those flat bags and resin are no joke once they hit the floor or fall until a mix they don't need to be. Big Mama was tall for her age, standing at 6'4". Long, dark brown curly hair that went straight and reaches about her elbows. She definitely had a shape on her that made her look well older than first year of college age, 18. She'll be 19 in a few months, and college life has already taught her, no one waits for you. She was rather tall and taken after her dad's side of the family. Her dad's side of the family is from Texas. She doesn't remember any of them, but from some of the stories she heard, she knows she wasn't missing anything dire. Because after all these years, and how technology has progressed, anybody on her dad's side could have found her by now asking, "Hey, how are you? Do you want to meet up at the end of the day?" She wasn't impressed because her own father doesn't call, hasn't called in quite some years due to the inconsistency of his life story. She understood at a very young age that not every parent is the ideal item that they should and could be. At the end of the day, that was his loss of missing milestones in all the beautiful memories of his children, growing and exploring life. There was days where she wondered how life would be if the son was on the latter side, but then she remembers her upbringing and smiles. Life when she was younger, definitely it was fun and full of activities and traveling. If it wasn't road trips, then it was fun activities around the town and at home. At the end of the day, doesn't bother her much about the situation, because throughout her life, she has wondered about certain situations regarding her father, but she also realized that he too could have reached out all these years and chose his own life path. At this point in her life, she was very big on learning herself and being one with her own energy, and she was quite happy with that and couldn't ask for more at this moment. Everything is going well.
Alright, it's probably loading. Let's see.
Over in the garage that was converted into the garage storage and work area, the oldest sister was sitting in her craft area next to the potter's wheel, creating some new noodle bowls that were quite wide. The customer that she was waiting on, the client came 10 minutes early to grab their product and was thoroughly thrilled and happy about how the product came out on top of getting full payment. They gave her a $200 tip and placed another order for some custom coffee mugs for their in-laws. She was so excited because who doesn't love a return customer? Her business was really picking up as far as her creating and designing her own planter, pots, plates, custom bowls, custom mugs, and other fire abstract artwork pieces that she has created and sold over the last 2 or 3 years. And the level of excitement and being a boss, she owns. Her business and everything running so well really made her feel like she was doing her big one. As today's weather was quite tolerable, she decided to change her outfit and wear some cotton baggy sweatpants with a very small fitted t-shirt. Her hair was pulled back into a bun, and she had a bonnet on over the top of her hair so the clay would not splatter into her hair. Even though her hair was pulled back into a bun, she had these very cute and large jumbo box braids that hung down to her waist. Her hair, all natural, no weave, was a sand brown that was wavy and curly. She preferred to keep it braided because the maintenance of letting it be out natural would have been costly, tending to brushing her hair throughout the day to make sure that it wasn't tangled, and especially when she made sure that it was twisted up her neck. Sweating was not her thing. Yes, she has a sister that literally has a hair salon, but she, with her stubborn behind, doesn't want her sister doing her hair. That is her literally just being stubborn, because her sister has customers lined up and booked up all month. There was literally no issue. She just wasn't a hair maintenance type of girly. She usually kept the garage door open on the nice days, even on the rainy days while she was working, because ventilation was a must, whether she was working on creating drying or using certain spray paint to design the artwork on her pottery. She wasn't really in the streaming live in real time like that online, but a large amount of her community was online and eating up all her social media pages because she was a great content creator. She was very selective on the music she chose when posting her artwork or her creations, especially when it came to limited edition dining sets. Her most viral videos are of the custom potted planters and the abstract creations that she turns into beautiful statues. So far, she's had quite a few customers all over the US and a few brand deal companies are looking her way to maybe possibly putting her into a few major headline stores across the country. That is a decision that she's been wondering about for the last few months, because she knows that the point of supplying demand to make it overwhelming. There's a difference when people call you or come to your website personally, versus you creating mass production, and now you have your merchandise and major companies across the nation. Was this something she wanted to get into? Was she into expanding the business to the point that to hire more employees to help with her business or management? She wasn't into being a gigantic owner of multiple people. She was more so into having her own freedom, be able to create as she pleases. If she chose to travel and do other markets and pop up shops and attend flea market, she could. She did not want to have the restriction of being stuck in one spot. She did not mind her garage and loved the garage because she did not have to get up and go out and drive to someone's warehouse or place a business every day. Home is where she loves to create and gets her best inspiration because she's comfortable in her surroundings and in her environment. She is not having to work well with others in group settings where she doesn't know the individuals and energy may be off. She's not having a deal with a boss that may be overworking her, and the pay may not be compensating. She's at the point in her life that she's able to go to college and still have hourly freedom and make the money that she needs to make to handle her classes and her lifestyle. No kids to run after, and the 3 friends that were very close in her friend circle understood the point of her liking her a long time. There definitely are plenty of times that they do go out and they schedule in advance so they can have a great time. And there is more so bonfires and attending jazz concerts and finding really cool speakeasies to vibe out and enjoy a great energy of music. She wasn't into the clubs that were loud and rowdy crowds where you don't know if a riot is going to break out. The news is already bad enough every day, and she definitely was not trying to be a part of anybody's obituary. Over the years, she's definitely kept herself while also having a small circle of friends, her sisters, and making sure that she calls her mom every other day to check in and saying hello to make sure that she's still breathing. Breathing not like sickly, but breathing like making sure that communication is still on point. Growing up, all the sisters were very close to their mom, and now that they are in their early adulthood, they definitely make sure the group chat is lively with their mother, and all the latest tea is on point, as she leans back on her pottery stool. She looks often into the clouds just above the tall pine trees thinking about her next creation. Sitting back, she smiles and she looks around, happy that she does not have to run after kids as she sees her neighbor jogging down the street with a stroller. She chuckles as she has a wild, dark sense of humor. As the neighbor is jogging down the street with the stroller, she has a toddler on a tricycle that is zooming down the way, and she's trying her best to make sure the kid stays on the sidewalk as she's pushing the stroller, panicking because she only has 2 hands as she's running after a toddler. Make sure both children are safely on the sidewalk. She chuckles and turns around because she knew she was not going to run and help. That was not her problem. And she made sure she stayed out people's way. She has definitely seen a lot of people try to help out the goodness of their heart and day-to-day situations, and other people may not take it as a kind gesture. These days aren't like it used to be when she was younger, when people actually helped others out, or people used to actually look out for others a time or two. She turned her attention back to her work area and grabbed her headphones off the charger, grabbed her phone, and chose her active playlist that she liked to blast while she was getting to work, creating new dope art pieces. When she chose to work on vases, she liked to listen to classical music because it was more calming. Different type of energy. Music was her first love because music flows on so many levels and so many moods depending on the person that you are. With that being said, her music library was insane. Thousands and thousands of songs on her phone, all different genres. One thing about her is you can kind of tell how she feels based on the music that she's listening to if you're able to hear it. With that being said and meaning, sometimes she will have her headphones on where she's minding her own business in her own realm, or sometimes she will throw the music on the surround sound speakers she has placed throughout the garage on her work side in her workshop, with headphones connected and phone. Into her side pocket, she tuned out the rest of the world and got to work. With the garage door open and the air flowing, she was able to tap into the music and get busy. While the oldest sister is in the garage jamming out with headphones on, the youngest sister emerges from her bedroom room, being a little bit nosy. She often walks through the house to check on her sister, even though she knows nothing is wrong. It's just in her normal routine to randomly stop what she's doing to go see if everybody else is good, checking the doors and making sure they're locked, and then she goes back into her room to get some hours of work done. One thing about the younger sister, she's very protective. I want to be able to get things done. So she tries to remind herself to do a walkthrough just to make sure everything's cool, because she's known to have her headphones into and zone out and not pay attention to anything. And another wonderful perk of not having kids to run after. Another perk of not having to stop what you're doing at 15 minutes to make sure little human is alive. She heads over to the other side of the house, down into the basement, and sees her sister cleaning up and jamming to Afro soul music. She chuckles and shakes her head and goes back up the stairs. Knowing that her sisters are good and the doors are locked, she heads back into her room. Lock the door, turns on a candle and some light jazz music, and gets to making the newest charm bracelets for her collection. Over the years, her style of bracelets has changed, and now she's on more elegant bracelets that are giving Pandora or Tiffany's. She's waiting for a 3-box shipment of charms to come in from one of her vendors, and it's already 2 weeks late. Upon her checking tracking and heading over to a local post office to see what the issue was, there was an email sent to her a moment ago, saying that the packages will arrive today. The delay was there was a storm on the Pacific Ocean, but the boat made it okay. They had to make a detour in order to stay safe. Water across the world is no joke. One thing about her is whenever she did make large orders, that's one thing she always had on her mind, is how the sailor and seamen have such a dangerous job trying to transport and import local goods across the world and still have their life. That type of job is no joke, especially when you don't know if you're going to make it home to see your family or not. Be out there on the water is dangerous and courageous at the same time. A job she knew that she was not going to sign up for. That kind of job falls along with having a job out there on an oil rig in the middle of nowhere in the water. No, thank you. Once she read the email and saw the time frame, she still had 2 or 3 hours to create new bracelets that she had in mind to post later. The newest collection of bracelets that she chose to sit down and design is a beautiful flower lily orchid collection. Each bracelet has about 6 charms around the bracelet and has a clasp. To open and close for these particular bracelets, one collection is gold chain charm bracelet and the other is sterling silver charm bracelets. She does have beaded bracelets available that have charms on them also, but her newest collection is the golden metal silver chain link. As 3 hours fly by, she gets up to refill her metal water bottle that she also bedazzled using the scatter method, and her water bottle is pink, full, and gold. And she finishes filling up her water bottle with some nice ice-cold water. She looks into the mirror in the hallway as she walks by, heading back to her room, and she notices it's time for her to detox her hair. As she goes to look into the hair area to see if there's any vinegar and baking soda, she sees that there is not any. She makes a mental note to pick up some vinegar and baking soda the next time she heads out, because it definitely was long overdue for her hair to get a good washing and detox. With her type of hair, it is good to detox dreads every 3 to 6 months, just for the keep and maintenance of clean hair. One big misconception of the culture of dreads is that a lot of people feel like people do not wash their hair that have that type of hairstyle is simply not true. There's all kinds of people that have dreads and all types of cultures, and only the individual on how their hygiene is with that particular hairstyle. Some people with dreads wash their hair every month or every week, or sometimes they might not do it for 6 months. There's some people that might not wash their hair for a year. I would not recommend that at all in the least, personally.
I'm starting to feel like the light board is only good when it's late at night.
Hair and the scalp that it is attached to.
Let's turn off the light board and see how it looks.
Because skin is also an organ. Hair is getting nails, need protein. So drinking a lot of water is a must, moisturizing
okay, that looks
and
better
hydrating.
for daytime. Yeah, we'll leave it
Your
like that.
Your hair is also first and secondary and key. A lot of people feel like just because that type of hairstyle, you have low maintenance because you don't have to do too much. which is true for keeping the hair and moisturize at the roots in the end, is very important, especially if you are a type of individual that may end up taking your locks out years later. You want to be able to untwist dress shell.
Okay, now we might have to turn it back on.
Down the road and not have a huge hairball sitting on the floor. They definitely has been a lot of people that have twisted their dreads after years of having that particular hairstyle, and they still were able to keep a good amount of their hair because they probably moisturized their hair throughout the years. She is huge on proper body hygiene, hair hygiene, and house hygiene. There's no reason for your home and your body to be dirty, especially when you have nothing.
Yeah, let's turn this light back on. I can hold you.
Yes, there's 24 hours in a day, but there's nothing wrong with having the proper hygiene routine and cleaning daily of your home among your work schedule and whatever lifestyle that you live.
No, I need that.
As she makes the mental note to grab some hair supplies, she heads back into her beads room. And her next task is to pack orders so they can get ready to be sent out to the post office. Tying her hair back up to a ponytail, she grabs her phone and turns on her printer, so she will start printing out the labels. As the day is rolling on, it is now nearing about 2 p.m., and the he continues to mind his business that pays him and drops off the mail and keeps it on pushing down the street to the other houses. He usually is never intimidated by anybody on his route, but for some reason, he has an interesting curiosity as to what she was creating and the relation of 3 women living in the same house. He was never one to ask questions, but this day and age, you never know. Had he known they were sisters, the crazy little thoughts in his head would have disappeared faster than a tidal wave. Granted, he did drop off the mail, but there was 2 last names for 3 people, and he was super nosy. One day I'll ask her and see what's going on. From what he can see in a day on today of him walking through the seasons daily of dropping off mail, the days at the garage door was open. The older sister was out there creating a beautiful work of art. He never got to see any of the finished products because she was always on the next. Was it because her items were selling that fast? Or was it because she made her items and then put them away? There was no visible shelf in the garage to see the display artwork, so only one could guess. But then at the same time, it would make more sense to have valuable art inside the house, in the garage where the door could be broken into easier. Even though this was a beautiful quiet block, where people kept to themselves, anything is possible. Neighbors consist of families, and a lot of them were dentists, daycare providers, or lawyers. So with that being said, during the daytime, a lot of people were not home until about 3 p.m., 5 p.m., or about 10 p.m. A lot of these families have the same routine, and if you sit outside the door long enough, you'll learn the routines of the Mr. and the Mrs. of each household. The mailman walks up the driveway to the sister's mailbox that is posted on the side of the house nearest to the garage. He takes off one of his headphones, waves, and gets the sister's attention asking, "Hey, does your sister have any packs and packages to mail off today?" The oldest sister says, "I don't know. It's a good question. I will go ask her right now and see if she has anything for you. We both know it'll save both you guys a trip." As the older sister runs into the house to go see if the youngest sister has any package, the mailman turns around to take a closer look at the older sister's artwork, is absolutely surprised and stunned at such detail. And each piece that he saw was beautiful in his own way. Looking around the garage, the side that was her workshop area stretched back further than he thought, because he never paid any attention, and there was a storage area behind her work spot where a lot of her artwork was stored. He took a few steps towards the storage area, because for the life of him he cannot wait, and was dying to see the type of art that she had. A lot of the vases that she had created were already done and ready for display, or to be bought, and were already posted online. They were about mid-size, beautiful handcrafted custom one planter vases that stood from the ground up to his hip. Some sculpture were beautiful abstract pieces that would go beautiful in the art museum. There was another shelf full of black art, all types of strong warrior kings and Vikings fighting monsters, along with black art of women of color.
All right,
And
so
brown,
when I
young
dig out
playing.
the wax, I put it back on the
Her type
thing.
of creations came to light because of the 3D and 5D art that she chose to work with. The contrast of the paintings, whether on canvas or on clay, it was absolutely stunning. The color contrast for each art piece was absolutely beautiful and done in a different way that he had not seen before. Before he even got a chance to see all the art pieces up close and personal, he heard the oldest sister coming back and decided to get back to where he was standing originally, so it wouldn't be any awkwardness as to why you're walking around in my garage and that I don't know you.
I know that's right.
Conversation. At the same moment, the mailman was standing back where he was. The oldest sister opened the door with 3 packages to hand to the mailman. Here you go. The sister says the mailman said thank you very much and I'll be on my way, and jokingly says same time tomorrow. The sister looked up and chuckled and laughed as to say, boy, you so corny. I'll catch you tomorrow. Yep, same time, same place. And maybe hopefully the same type of weather. They both looked at each other and laughed and said, yes, I definitely can't beat the beautiful views right now. Love how the sun is setting. But yeah, it's not that dark in the evening yet. The sister chuckles, yeah, that's true. It is definitely the time of year where it is about the time to change those clocks forward or back. I don't remember, but we will see when we wake up next day. You're right. You figure that them changing those clocks back, you would get more time to handle business in life, but it's not. They both chuckle, shake their heads, and wave each other off so they can continue their day. The both get back to work, and the mailman heads down through the neighborhood, making his routine stops handling people's mail in a timely fashion so he can get back on with his day en route at the post office.
What happens?
As the older sister sits there in the garage on her favorite stool, she puts on her headphones and is now sitting in her thoughts. She was starting to feel like she was catching a vibe from a mailman, but she definitely was like, hold up. Does the mailman like me? He seems kind of friendly lately, a bit more than usual. Is that flirting? Is that what he's trying to do? Or was he just doing his job grabbing the packages for this neighborhood? She's too smart to entertain. That a little bit because she knows she literally did not have time and was super focused on her work. Also, she made a mental note. Next time she saw him to look at his hands to make sure there wasn't no rings on either hand, because nobody has time for somebody acting a whole fool unnecessarily. And once again, didn't have time. She was super focused on school and her craft. She chose not to entertain dating anytime soon because she already knows what relationships lead to. Either somebody is sacrificing what they want to do in their dream, or somebody's unhappy because they didn't. Get what they want as their choice, so they can be happy with what they want to do in their career. Or someone dictating her future without somebody criticizing a yes or no. And she literally had no time for entertaining a man that wanted to treat her as a servant. The only reason why she says that in such a way is because the friends that she does have are in relationships. And even though her friends are happy with their partners, it's the part of the relation that irritates oldest sister is before a man and a woman gets into a relationship, everybody was doing everything independently, like cooking, cleaning, eating, and doing laundry. And then once people get into relationships now, the man or the more masculine energy is telling the other one to do this and do that like a servant or a modern maid. The lady complains about what the man does not do in the house, and she's constantly running around being tired because she no longer has time for herself and slowly forget who she is as a person because she's too busy running after the man and making sure the house is clean and making sure his food is made to his liking. And the only freedom you get is when you're asleep and or single. The thought of waking up at 2 a.m. to make a man a sandwich made her want to roll over in her grave. Cleaning a man's dirty laundry was absolutely insane, because if you were never around, he would have to clean his own laundry, regardless if he went to work or not. To have to ask another grown adult's permission to go to the club, or what to wear or what not to wear, Or if you like your hair a certain way and they disagree. She was not trying to hear none of that. Wasn't nobody about to tell her what to do and what not to do. Wasn't nobody gonna tell her who she could or couldn't hang with. She likes to wake up when she felt like it, and felt like it was not necessary to be dressed up every day like a human puppet, down to eager the male species. She wouldn't even cater to a female like that either, just to be clear, because we all know how the world has been shifting, and people are free to love who they want. But she loved her freedom to do what she pleases, and loved herself more to be single, and not have to worry about a headache of another individual. Her and her sisters was enough. Handling these bills with this house was enough, and them upgrading the house room by room was enough, while not getting into crazy debt with renovating the house and school. Right now, she had too much on her plate as it is, and adding a man or a baby was not it. She had no interest in running after a little human, or possibly being a single parent, if the man chose to not be a family leader anymore. Waking up at certain times for college classes was enough for her. At this point, she didn't even want any animals. Because with animals, you have to maintain a schedule and routine in order for the animal to be fed or be let outside to go use the restroom. Once the animal goes in the restroom, now you gotta buy stuff to clean up the animal's poop. She just was not into none of that. She had no interest in taking care of a man, any kids, or a pet. And she was totally okay with living in her truth and letting anybody know friends and networking is cool. But relationship dating, or anything with pets or kids, was out of the question for now. She's seen too many people make decisions because of everyone else wanting to live the American dream, when we all can clearly see that that is not how life is anymore. One thing she always liked to joke and say is, bills always come on time, your man or your girl might not. LOL. She shook her head, turned on a different playlist, and got to work, making a final decision that even if the mailman did like her, she had no time for games. She had business to handle and a goal to reach. Then on top of that, with her overthinking self, her biggest question would be, how many other females are you talking to on your roads delivering mail? Are you low-key in several relationships, and nobody would have thought anything about it just because you see and go to so many people's houses on your work route? That right. There, that distraction is what she literally did not have time for. She already knows how her temper can get, and the last thing she needed to do is to be chasing some individual down to see if they are being faithful or not. Once again, she smirked and said, nope, I got too many things to do and enjoy my freedom. She turns around to continue sculpting the newest vase that she is halfway done with. This work of art had some beautiful vines designed around the vase and the handle to pull. The vase was made out of really beautiful thick ivy leaves. She was about halfway done and zoned back out to get her work done. As the hours rolled on and the sun was high in the sky, birds chirping, hopping tree to tree, the youngest sister is in her shop, slightly leaning back in her office chair, enjoying the sunshine beaming down on her face, and then her phone rings.
Uh-oh, come on.
The phone ringing brings her...
Is it still loading?
Back to reality.
Oh, well, come on
and she
now.
picks up, seeing that it's her business line. Hello, this is Bracelet City. How can I help you? The voice on the other end of the line sounded pleasant yet busy, and a lady says, hello there, I received your business card from a work friend of mine, and I was wondering if you do bulk orders, like for parties or events. She looks at the phone in a bit of shock because she barely gets huge orders from companies, but definitely has the inventory shall the call come up. She recovered in 2 seconds, smiled, and said yes. Yes, I definitely do bulk orders. What type of bracelets are you looking for? How many? And is there a theme for the bracelet order? Yes, actually I wrote my order down, says the voice from the phone. I have a Cinderella-themed baby shower for my oldest daughter. I will need 150 bracelets, and the colors will be in sky blue, silver, and clear in a royal blue. I would like them stretchy so everyone at the baby shower is able to wear one, whether it is a male or female. Or, if they don't want to wear it, they can use it as a car decal for memories. Okay, replies. The youngest sister, 150 bracelets that are stretchy. Do you need them all one size, or do you want them to range from small, medium, and large? The customer says, an assortment is fine as everyone there is of various sizes. Okay, no problem. Is there any type of style that you would like? The customer says, no. Surprise me. I've seen your work online, and I love all of it. I know the work that you do. Once you decide what to create, it will be epic, and I'm super excited to be working with you. The baby shower is in 3 months, so I hope that gives you enough time to get that order situated, and as a deposit, I will put down $400. Please bill me the rest as it will be paid in full by next week. I know how it is trying to order materials for an event and someone does not give you enough time. Nobody likes rush orders, and as a creator myself, I would hate for someone to give me such a project last minute. Once again, I hope that 3 months is enough time for you to get the 150 bracelet done, as I hope I am not impeding on anyone else's current order. The youngest sister says quickly, no worries, and that is enough time for your bracelets to be done. I will send you the invoice later, as I just received your $400 through Cash App. Thank you very much, as I will get to the materials and have them ordered today. They both say thank you and say their goodbyes. The youngest sister hangs up the phone and literally does a cartwheel, careful not to knock anything over in the shop. The type of excitement that filled her was overwhelming. The Domine shooting through her veins was enough for her. To start singing a made-up song about achieving your goals even on the day you feel like no one's watching. She dances around for a minute, then grabs her iPad to start scrolling for the perfect beads for this event. A baby shower, how cute! The youngest sister always thought that baby showers were adorable, but kids wasn't for her. She had no intention on being anyone's mom. The thought of having a little child running behind you 247 and you having to make sure that this little person is alive for the next 18 years was not something that she was looking to do. She wanted to enjoy her freedom of waking up whenever she wanted to and doing as she pleases. In this economy, people were barely making it. There's so much going on in the economy that bringing a kid into the world would be insane. Plus, she was not one of those people that was thrilled about anything that had to do with pregnancy. Holding a baby for 9 months, it growing in your body, the pain of seeing your body stretch out and transform. She seems so many females not even look the same after a kid, and every single lady is the same thing. I'm tired, and I hope my man still loved my body after I pushed out his kid. And everything. She noticed less than half of these couples stay together after they have the baby. And she just finds that insane and diabolical. How are you together with your partner for years or months, and everything is cool? Then y'all doing grown-up stuff to bring a life into the world. The man begs the lady to keep it just for him to run away or not show up. Who is looking forward to being a single mom who wants to struggle by herself? Instead of having a family unit where the man is helping and they have an equally yoked partnership where at least he's getting up and changing diapers too. For the life of her, she was not going to get caught up listening to a man tell her sweet nothings and set her up to be struggling, looking crazy. The fact that the double standard for a man to come and go with whatever excuse they want is insane. Meanwhile, the female 9 out of 10 is not going to leave their kids stranded nowhere, and now they're bending corners and rolling through hoops to make sure their kid eats. That was no life she wanted or to be tricked into. College life was a vibe. Her having her business driving and not struggling was great. Her biggest thing right now was chilling with her sisters getting money and renovating this house. As the youngest sister hopped back online to look at different custom beads for this newest order, she was through the roof when she sees some new releases of royal blue, bling crystals.
Is that the next chapter? What are we doing? Unlock 37 episodes for 99 cents. Yeah, no, it's loading. Hold on, because,
Duke Edgar, please spend the night with my
daughter, and you would see she is an excellent choice for...
Oh, okay, that was the end of it so far. Okay, so we're waiting for another chapter to come through, which is cool. I'm not tripping. Okay.
A bold mother pushed her daughter towards the Duke as he passed by them. All eyes were on the three of them.
How do you pause this? This is I think it's a commercial, you guys. This is not part of the book. Goodness. Alright. Alright, so we actually did a really good section of the black right here, you guys. And we're going to actually pause this till later, and then I'll do another stream. So I'm super excited about that. So catch me later. What is it, 6 p.m. right now? So around 8 o'clock, we're going to jump back in. And we're going to be doing some more of the diamond art, okay? So it's coming along, as you can see. Super excited. The light board is definitely necessary to be able to see all these little tiny numbers. So like I said, I'm about to cam down. I'm about to charge the phone. We're going to vibe out in a few hours and listen to some more audiobooks. All right, you guys, I appreciate you coming through, and I'm super excited because we're going to see how long it takes to do this, okay? Once again, this size diamond art painting is a 50 by 150, okay? Size of a doorway. I'm only 5'3 1/4", so it's a little bit taller than me. This is literally my first diamond art painting. Granted, I finished a peacock, but the peacock I finished because I was waiting for my homegirl to get where I was as far as this particular painting. But guess what? We're about to keep trucking along because she's got a lot of things on her plate, and she's in Texas, so the hour difference with me being in New York is like a lot. 60 minutes makes a big difference when you're running after a newborn and 4 other little kids. So with that being said, totally okay with it, and I love that for her. So I will catch you guys in a few hours. Be safe, have a great day, and we definitely tap the screen, share live, subscribe, so you guys can see whenever I hop on. So I will see you guys in a minute.